Disney, you're gonna have to redo your film again. Because this woman is a pig, and you fired Gina Carano for far less than this nonsense.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them, that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Disney had warning after warning that the live-action Snow White was heading for chaos, but they ignored every red flag. The movie crashed hard at the box office. Theaters looked empty, critics ripped it apart online, and viewers roasted the creepy CGI dwarves nonstop, calling them nightmare fuel. The backlash got worse when some little actors reportedly felt pushed aside after Disney chose CGI instead. Then, Rachel Zegler became the center of the storm. She pushed for major story changes, criticized the original romance, and said this Snow White would focus on leadership over love. That instantly split the internet. Rachel also spoke about long filming hours and fair pay, which added even more drama. Disney later reportedly boosted security around Gal Gadot after online threats tied to political tensions involving the cast. But suspicion around Rachel started years earlier. At just 16, she sent a home audition tape for Spielberg's West Side Story and beat around 30,000 people for the lead role, despite having zero Hollywood connections. Rachel's sudden rise sparked non-stop industry plant rumors online. A teenager from New Jersey landing the lead in a Spielberg movie sounded way too perfect to some people, especially in a Hollywood world packed with celebrity kids and insider connections. Others defended her hard, saying she actually earned it through talent instead of family ties. But Disney later caught heat because Rachel's interviews kept turning into controversy magnets. After West Side Story, Disney cast her as Snow White, a huge career move that quickly turned messy. Rachel posted, "Yes, I am Snow White. No, I am not bleaching my skin for the role." She later deleted it, but screenshots exploded everywhere. The debate centered around Snow White's classic description having skin as white as snow. Rachel's casting led to huge arguments online about Disney changing iconic characters instead of creating new stories. Some reactions were unfair and hateful, while others simply questioned Disney's direction. People even compared the backlash to Halle Bailey's Little Mermaid casting, which still became a financial success despite all the internet drama. Rachel explained that Snow White's name came from surviving a snowstorm as a baby, symbolizing strength instead of appearance. She said the movie focused on leadership and showing young people how powerful they can be.
You were bringing a modern edge to it. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
But the real trouble started with the interviews. Rachel said this version of Snow White wouldn't spend time dreaming about true love and would focus more on becoming a leader. That instantly blew up online. Many fans felt Disney was removing the heart of the original story instead of honoring it. Things got even messier when Rachel joked about Prince Charming and spoke sarcastically about parts of the classic film. For longtime Disney fans, that hit a nerve hard.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
What made you want to step into this world of DC heroes?
I needed a job. I'm being so serious.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs wasn't just another movie. It was Disney's first animated feature and a huge part of film history. The confusion grew when Rachel later shared childhood photos dressed as Snow White and called the role a dream come true. Fans felt whiplash. Some saw her as confident and modern, while critics thought her interviews sounded dismissive and combative. During promotion for Shazam! Fury of the Gods, Rachel joked that she took roles because she needed a job. Some people laughed it off as honesty, while others called it ungrateful, given how fast her Hollywood rise happened. She also did say she was thankful for the opportunities and still learning in the industry. But by then, almost every interview she did turned into an online debate. The tension spiked even more during the 2023 Writers Guild strike, where writers demanded better pay and fairer streaming residuals after years of declining income in the streaming era. Rachel publicly supported the strike and spoke about fair treatment for actors and creatives. Supporters praised her for backing workers, but critics accused her of sounding entitled while already working on major Hollywood projects. At this point, she had become one of the internet's most polarizing young stars. Every comment fueled new arguments, and the Snow White controversy stopped being just about a film. It turned into a full-blown culture war online. Rumors even spread that Disney might shelve the movie due to backlash. But instead of calming things down, the situation only escalated further. The next wave of controversy hit when Disney reportedly replaced the iconic Seven Dwarfs with a modern, diverse group of magical characters. Leaked set photos spread fast online, and viewers tore them apart, joking the group looked like random festival performers in a medieval fair rather than a fantasy cast. Disney claimed the leaks weren't real footage, but few believed it. The situation partly traced back to Peter Dinklage's criticism of the remake and the dwarf storyline.
Taken back by they're very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White.
Yeah.
But you're still telling the story of Snow White.
Yeah.
Seven Dwarfs.
Sure.
You take a step back and look at what you're doing there.
Yeah.
I know. That makes no sense to me.
But,
you're progressive in one way, but you're still making that backward story of seven dwarves living in a cave. What the are you doing, man?
His comments pushed Disney to rethink the characters, leading them to promise consultations with the dwarfism community to avoid stereotypes. But that move backfired too. Critics said Disney was overcorrecting and trying too hard to satisfy everyone at once. Then came the biggest shift. The dwarves were replaced with CGI characters. The result became another internet firestorm. Many viewers called the CGI creepy and unnatural, saying it looked more like a digital experiment than a live-action remake. Instead of detailed practical effects, the film leaned heavily on animation, making everything feel fake and overly polished. On top of that, the dwarves were barely developed in the story, making them hard to distinguish. Ironically, all these changes were meant to avoid backlash, but ended up fueling even more of it. But then more backlash hit when several little actors reportedly felt sidelined because Disney used CGI instead of hiring real performers. Actress Allie Chapman publicly called it out, saying talented actors were unfairly replaced by digital characters. At this point, the film felt like a non-stop chain reaction of controversies stacking on top of each other. And it still got worse. Fans began noticing tension between Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler during interviews. Gal looked composed and professional, while Rachel sometimes seemed distracted or avoided eye contact when Gal spoke. That was enough to spark rumors of behind-the-scenes drama. Then the Snow White trailer dropped and exploded online. Rachel thanked fans for the huge response, but then added a political message supporting Palestine.
For Kamala Harris. And it's actually non-negotiable. Our rights are on the line, folks. Our reproductive rights. Come on. Go vote blue. And if you disagree with this sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
Some praised her for speaking up, while others felt it created tension since Gal Gadot has openly supported Israel and served in the Israeli military. The internet went into chaos, and reports claimed Gal received serious online threats. Disney reportedly increased security around her, and producer Mark Platt even spoke directly with Rachel about the fallout. Platt's son also defended him online, saying a massive Disney production with hundreds of millions at stake couldn't survive constant controversy from its lead star. He stressed how many crew members depended on the film's success. Still, Rachel and Gal were both expressing personal beliefs, but many felt the situation showed how quickly a fantasy film can get dragged into real-world conflict. Rachel kept speaking openly about politics, including after Donald Trump's election, posting emotional reactions that sparked another media storm. Conservative outlets quickly targeted Disney for allowing a family film lead to make such public political statements. Soon after, reports claimed Disney started closely monitoring Rachel's social media before the movie's release. She was even said to have worked with a social media consultant to review posts before publishing them online. But by then, many believed the damage was already done. The film released on March 21, 2025, and expectations were high despite the chaos. Some thought controversy might boost curiosity, but it backfired hard, with a reported budget nearing $300 million after reshoots and marketing. Snow White opened to disappointing global numbers. Analysts quickly labeled it one of Disney's major financial setbacks in recent years. Comparisons were made to The Little Mermaid, which also faced backlash but still won over audiences. Snow White didn't manage the same turnaround, with many viewers calling it bland and forgettable. Rachel's reactions to criticism only fueled more debate, with critics saying she made the spotlight about herself. Still, many agreed her actual performance wasn't the main issue. Most viewers said she sang well and delivered a solid performance with what she was given. The bigger problem came from the film itself. Like many Disney live-action remakes, Snow White struggled to capture the magic of the original. The CGI felt overused, the colors looked flat, and the world lost the warmth and charm of the 1937 classic. Instead of feeling magical, it came off like a corporate product chasing nostalgia without understanding what made the original special in the first place. And that might be the real lesson here. When audiences say they're tired of constant remakes or politics in entertainment, it's worth listening. Fans also made it clear they want original stories, not endless reboots. And when viewers say they're skipping a movie because of the overall controversy, studios shouldn't be shocked when it actually happens. At its core, many feel this remake never needed to exist. Walt Disney himself was reportedly protective of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, even resisting sequel ideas to preserve it as a standalone masterpiece. After everything, a lot of fans feel that legacy should have been respected from the start. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video for more deep dives into Hollywood drama. Drop your thoughts in the comments. This one really splits opinions. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.